Hello. So, I'm going to tell you about a very important, special word in my life. It's actually, interestingly, one of the first words I ever learned to speak. And it's one that I use most often. And I credit it singularly as the secret of my success. One word as the secret of my success. And I'm going to tell you what it is right here, right now. But just before, for those of you who don't know me, I'm going to spend just a minute telling you a little bit about where I am in my life right now, and I promise not to talk about it again until the end. So I'm the group CEO of a company called the Creative Counsel. We're the largest advertising group in South Africa. We've been around for 14 years. We've created tens of thousands of jobs in the past 14 years, which I'm very proud of, and the business is going well. On top of it, I'm also a dragon on Dragon's Den, South Africa, for those of you who have seen it, which was a lot of fun. I got to be on TV, and I got to invest in really cool companies and meet a whole lot of young entrepreneurs. Another thing that I'm currently is the GQ Best Dressed. And most excitingly, this month, my new co-authored book called, and for all these reasons I'm in, is coming out. It's going to be on bookshelves all over the country. And it's a book aimed at inspiring entrepreneurs that I co-authored with the other dragons on the show. And all the money that we make from the book, all the proceeds are going to an entrepreneurial charity. So in a nutshell, as it stands now, I'm a businessman, an entrepreneur, an investor, a fashionista, a TV personality, and now soon to be a published author, and all before I'm 40. I'm in my 30s. I want that to be known for another 16 days. So I'm hanging on by a very thin thread. So I still feel like I've got a lot to do. I've got a long way to go. I'm very ambitious. I feel like I've only just begun. But many people ask me, so how have you managed to do so much by this time? What is the secret? And I have one word. Why? That is the reason that I'm here today. Is because I learned that word. I learned to say it a lot. In fact, if you add another word to that word, why, it becomes even more powerful. Why not? So, why not me? Why not here? Why not now? You remember, like, as a kid growing up, you used to, like, ask your mom, like, you'd say something, and you're like, why? She's like, because of this and that. And you, why? And you just keep on going, why? So, like, lots of people grow out of that. I never grew out of it. I keep asking why. And that is the reason that I changed my life surroundings. So what I'm going to tell you is nothing about the Creative Counsel and what we do and why we're successful in what we do. I'm going to go way back. I'm going to do something that I've never done before. I'm going to tell you about my life before I started the Creative Counsel. Because I often think that those formative years are what lead you to success in later life, but people often forget. I actually came from very humble beginnings a long, long time ago. In fact, I think we should go back even further. Yeah, I was born then, okay? And for those of you who haven't been to Johannesburg, I was grew up in the east of Joburg, okay? In a place called Edenvale, okay? Edenvale, so people who come from my place, they call it the scale from the veil, okay? I had humble beginnings. I had a loving family very supportive, but humble beginnings. But I had big dreams. I didn't want to be stuck where I came from. I thought that the world was big and wide open, and I wanted to grab those opportunities. Now, in those days, there wasn't like YouTube and Google and Facebook. So really, the only references we had mainly was movies. That's what exposed us to what the world is all about. I'll never forget, I was 12. My mother took me to a movie, and the day changed my life. I walked out of this movie and thought, this is what I want to be. I need to be Tom Cruise. I'm going to be a movie star. I'm going to be famous. I'm going to be rich. I'm going to take over the world. I have to do it. And from that point on, I started auditioning and focusing and training and doing anything I can because I thought I need to be in the sequel. So that didn't quite work out, but this did.
Okay, picture this. Welcome today, ladies and gentlemen, to the world of the lifestyle. What am I saying? Rich and famous. Okay. Just playing. Okay, what's the line? Okay. I'm too big for BMXs.
What are you hiding on about, man? I mean, I'm taller than you, and I'm not too big.
What about me? She's taller than both of you guys.
Okay. I'm just being precious, you know?
What do you do when you no longer ride BMXs?
Play games.
Yeah, and win mega prizes.
I'm cringing right now. So that show was called Zap Mag. It was a youth magazine program in the early 90s. And it wasn't quite the sequel to Top Gun, but I was finally on TV. And people recognized me, and I thought I was going to have a lot of fun. And in fact, I got to meet some really amazing people who started their careers with me, like Bonnie and Vusi and Tsepo and Christina over there. And I'm the cheesy looking guy with a stupid smile. But here's what was weird is like I realized that if you think big and dream big, magical things happen. It was a massive realization. I realized that if I ask the question, why not, and challenge it, big things happen. I was finally on TV, and yet I was so disappointed. I couldn't believe it. I thought I'd have so much fun, and in fact, not at all. I was a puppet for someone else. I had to wear something that someone else decided, look in the camera, say someone else's script. That's not being master of my destiny. So very fast, as soon as I got onto TV, I wanted to be behind the scenes because I wanted to be the director of my life. And the mad thing is, this was the beginning of my entrepreneurship. I didn't even know it. I didn't even know the word entrepreneur. I just knew that what was more interesting than being in front of the cameras was being behind the scenes. So the first thing I did as soon as I left school was start a TV production company. And you remember Vusi that you saw in the picture there? Now known as Vusi Zion. In those days it was known as Vusi Twala. Okay? And we decided the new South Africa is so exciting. We're friends. It was a new opportunity. And we took it. And we created a company called Juwazi Productions. Because he's Swati. I'm Jewish. The Jew and the Swazi. Juwazi. So we started this company. Well, it's actually not quite a company if I think about it. It was a logo and a name. But it's a good start. And with this logo and the name, we went and we pitched our wares. We went to the SABC and we said, listen, you got to give us a job. We've got this brilliant idea for kids' mini gladiators for little kids called Super Kids. Cool idea. And the commissioning editor sat there and she was like, okay, do you have a company? Like, not yet. Do you have a bank account? No. Do you have staff? No. Do you have offices? No. I can't believe the audacity that we had going there, asking her for an opportunity. I was like mad. We had a logo and a very cool name and all the wool in the world. And she sat there. I'll never forget. I was sure she was going to tell us to. Out of her office. And instead she said, you know what? I'll give you a chance. couldn't believe my ears. Vusi and I looked at each other like, great, we're up for it. And as we walked out, I'll never forget 4 really sage, wise words as we were walking out. That's what she said to us. And as I walked out, I realized something else very important, that very often people will believe in you more than you believe in yourself. And you know what? They're often right. So we set about to do this production, and this was the outcome.
Come on, share some game of them all.
Jump high and reach for the stars.
Slam dunk as many balls as you can into the hoopla.
In the time span of 1 minute.
And remember, if it ain't in,
You're out.
Well, this is the slam dunk of all games. This is the drop of all falls. It's scary, but I tell you, hey, it's worth it.
Eraser, do you know what you have to do with this?
Yeah!
Then go when the buzzer tells you to.
yes, it's time for action again. The first ball is in. Eraser's rising to the challenge. 40 seconds gone. It's time to partake. Come on, Psycho. What do you have to say to this? We're going to see some action today.
I'm just holding on. I'm just waiting for the fun to begin. Because I know that once the predators have sunk in.
Super Kids. Okay? It was the most popular TV show of its time slot. We shot in the biggest studio in the Southern Hemisphere. Multiple cameras, live studio audience. We bussed in schools from underprivileged areas so that they can participate in it. We found sponsors. It was a huge success. We had never done anything before that. But this is what came out of it. Sometimes we'd walk into meetings, and I remember just before walking in, I'd stand there and I'd proper panic. I'm a little kid. What do they want from me? And I'd walk in and act as if. And I learned that if you act as if long enough, so it shall become. Yeah, you can clap if you want. Because every one of you have been there. And you know what? It's an important lesson to learn, because to this day, I walk into meetings. I don't know what the hell's going on. But I remind myself that everyone else is probably thinking the same thing themselves. Act as if, and so it shall become. Well, that was all cool and exciting. But at that time, there was this new thing that came out, and it piqued my interest. It was called the internet. And in 1998, you could raise money, lots of money, for any idea as long as it had the word internet in it. It was the boom of the internet. So I decided to approach a friend of mine from school who was very entrepreneurial. And in fact, he was a very experienced stockbroker. He had been doing stockbroking for 6 months. So I said to him, come, let's do this together. In fact, he approached me and said, why don't we do finance? A financial portal where guys can go and do day trading. I'm like, I'm in. Let's do this. We can make millions. And we went and we took this idea and we raised millions of rands to develop it. And in our minds, we were internet millionaires. We were going to be famous. But the problem with a boom is that very often there's a bust. And 2.5 years later, after spending our lives developing, working on this, the company that had invested in us went into liquidation. We lost everything. We lost money, we lost time, we lost reputation, we lost credibility, we lost our jobs. And I can't tell you how depressing it was. Couldn't get out of bed. I thought this was the end of my life at the tender age of 25. This is it. I may even need to go get a job. And you know what? No one can console you. People were going like, roll with the punches. Tomorrow's another day. I don't want you to tell me that now. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to roll with the punch. I want to, how do I get out of bed? But what I realized is that I love entrepreneurship. I love being master of my destiny, the director of my life. I want to dream big and then make it happen. And I'm willing to act as if until it becomes. And hope that people believe in me more than I believe in myself, and that they'll be right. So we picked ourselves up. We got a tiny little office in Parktown. We started placing promoters. We were just hoping it would be a side thing, just to make us enough money to pay for the petrol, to get to the office, so we could work out what we really want to do with our lives. We started it on the 1st of August, 14 years ago. What I didn't realize then, at my lowest point, at my trough, is that when you're at the trough, there's a crest that's sure to happen. Because breakdowns are very often breakthroughs. And now, 14 years later, we're the biggest agency in South Africa, and we've created tens of thousands of jobs, which is the thing I'm most proud of. And we've only just begun because, hey, I'm still in my 30s. So, if I look back, the reasons for the 14 years of success is not just those 14 years. It's everything that led up to it. It's the fact that I dreamt big. Now, I wanted to be a director of my life. People around me helped me and supported me when I was weakest. I knew how to act. And eventually, acted long enough and you become it. And breakdowns are very often breakthroughs. And I got to these realizations because I always start with the question of why. And I add to that, why not? Why not now? Why not here? Why not me? And I challenge you guys, every single one of you, the next time you go to the bathroom, look in the mirror and ask yourself, why not here? And why not now? And why not me? And I guarantee you, most of you will not have a very good answer. And if that's the case, then I have one last question to ask you, and that is, what are you going to do about it? Thank you.